YouTube, what's up? NateGrit321 back again with another sort of mid-month random rambling video. I figured I'd do it now because I don't really anticipate buying anything else in between now and the actual end of the month, so I'll just show you the 3 games I picked up this month. Pretty light month for me. Not a whole lot coming out that I really wanted. And I've been busy wrapping up work these last, I just had my last day about a week ago, and so I've been, finished up what I needed to do. That last weekend of work was pretty busy for me, so I haven't had a whole lot of time. But now, luckily, I have some free time, in between my job ending last week and me moving out and hopefully to my next job. I still haven't heard anything yet, but knock on wood, that changes very soon. But anyway, I have some free time now. I can sort of dive into some games, the new ones I picked up and some old ones that I haven't played in a long time. But first I want to get out of the way, I was going to do an E3 video after that wrapped up, kind of giving general thoughts on the conferences and games I've been looking forward to, but I figured that'd be really redundant because everybody did that kind of video, so I decided not to do that. But definitely a lot of really cool stuff I'm looking forward to in the end of this year. This, like, October, November, December, that sort of quarter of the year, it's going to be unbelievable. I mean, so many, like 3 big games that I want coming out there. We got Uncharted 3, Battlefield 3, a lot of sequels in this year's E3, a lot of threes, but anyway. Uncharted, Battlefield, and Skyrim. And I've said before I'm going to build a new computer in the next month or two, I think. And so Skyrim and Battlefield getting for PC, and then Uncharted, obviously PS3. But I mean, a ton of awesome games. The 3DS games coming out, like the new Mario game, even Snake Eater 3DS. I don't know if that was 2011 or 2012, but a ton of games coming out. Really cool looking games. The Eco and Shadow of Colossus Collection HD, that's going to be really awesome. Just so many cool things coming out this next half year. And of course, the new hardware, the Wii U, kind of, strange name, obviously everyone, a lot of mixed reactions on that one, but I think the technology is interesting. I think it's going to be like the Wii, where it's going to take some time. Developers aren't really going to know how to fully utilize it. I mean, it's sort of a new concept, so at the beginning it's going to be a lot of gimmicky games like you saw with the Ninja Stars in the little preview video. It's going to take some time, but eventually people are going to experiment with it, especially if Nintendo lets third-party developers really get in and kind of dive into the machine and see what they can do. I sense good potential there. I'm interested to see a price, what it's going to be. My guess is it's going to be around 400, maybe less. Nintendo might be able to push a little less, but they don't like to sell things at a loss like maybe Sony does. So if this thing's more powerful than the, granted they're 4 or 5-year-old systems, the PS3 and 360, it's more powerful than that, and the technology, which is basically a tablet controller, I don't know. I don't see it going for much less than 350 would be the absolute lowest I could see this thing. But yeah, I mean, if the 3DS is 250, this you gotta think this thing's gonna be at least $100 more. But I guess we'll have to wait till next year and see when they announce a price officially. And then the new PlayStation Portable, the Vita, looks pretty cool, interesting. We'll see. If I had to choose one, I'd opt for the $300 model, just cause might as well get the 3G support. We'll see what the launch lineup looks like. Obviously, Uncharted's I think the system seller, in my opinion. We'll see when that comes out, if that's a launch game. In fact, if it is, might buy that. But again, there's so many games coming out at the end of the year that it's going to be really hard to put that in there, especially after building this new PC, which is going to be super expensive, and getting games throughout the year and stuff. So it's going to be a crazy holiday season for a lot of gamers out there. But I want to talk about one game that I beat yesterday, one that long overdue, that I've had for a long time, that I knew I wanted to beat, but for whatever reason never got back into it. And I just want to wholeheartedly recommend it to all of you. That'd be Eco on the PlayStation 2, if you can get a hold of it. It is sort of a hard game to get a hold of, but let me tell you, it's just such a great experience. For those of you who don't know what it's about, it's really kind of a puzzle platformer, in a mechanical sense, but what it is it's like you're a boy and you get trapped in this castle, and there's not a lot of storytelling here as far as like dialogue and narrative. It's kind of just, I don't know, it's really hard to explain this game really, but you meet up with like a princess who's trapped and you both basically just have to escape, and there's this sort of dark force that's trying to keep her in there, and it's just such a fantastic game experience. It's really artistic. It really focuses on the environments and everything. You're this little kid, and there are these large, massive, open environments that are basically empty, you know, save for a few shadow creatures that show up every once in a while. For the most part, it's just you, princess, and just wide open spaces. Really colorful game, really good looking PS2 game. It's an early PS2 game too. I'm gonna say it's a blue bottom disc, so yeah, it's a pretty early PS2 game. Looks good for the time, and it's just, the thing I like about it most is that it's so unapologetic in, you know, what it is as a game. So often nowadays you see games add features here and there just to sort of appeal to the mass audience or the lowest common denominator. You know, games will add length, but it's because of useless puzzles and sort of tedious things that, sure, on the back of the box it says it's 30 hours, but really, you know, half of that time is you spending things you could be doing so much more efficiently and better. So I hate games that artificially add length and things like that. Games that add multiplayer where it's not needed just to sort of increase longevity so they can sell you more DLC, things like that. But this game, it's a relatively short game. It took me maybe 8 hours-ish, something like that. It's probably anywhere between 7 to 10 first time through. And I mean, it doesn't apologize. It is what it is. You just play it through, enjoy the environment, and sort of just take in everything and just like sit back and look around you, and it's just such an enjoyable experience. And I really want to get into Shadow of the Colossus, which is the spiritual sequel to this game, made by the same group. I have that game as well, but again, that was another one I started but never finished. So now that I finished Eco, definitely going to dive into that. And I don't know if I want to play it now or hold off till the collection comes out in September, I think, the HD collection, which I'll probably get. But I definitely, if you don't have this game or Shadow, I definitely recommend buy that collection when it comes out in September. I want to say it's going to be like $40. So worth it. I mean, these games alone each go for like $40 on eBay, so definitely go for that collection. These graphics in HD are going to be phenomenal, and I can't wait till the next game comes out, Last Guardian. That's going to be awesome. So, Eco, I just wanted to mention that I finally beat that. Definitely sort of on the bucket list for gamers. You know, you need to play this game and beat it. Such a great experience. Anyway, enough of that. Briefly, we'll talk about the 3 pickups I got this month, and that'll be it for the video. Pretty short. First game I got at Goodwill. This was one I always wanted as a kid, and I really don't know why. The game kind of sucks, but it's the X-Files on the PS1. I was never a fan of the show as a kid. I don't even know if I've ever watched an episode, period. I think the reason I wanted it is because it's a multi-disc game, and these always appealed to me. For whatever reason, I think it's maybe because I sort of assumed that because it's more than one disc, it's like a better value, it's a bigger game, you get more for your money. Like in Metal Gear Solid, true. Some RPGs, even though I'm not a fan, I would say that holds true. This game, not so much. It's 4 discs, all the discs are there. Minor scratches on the discs. It plays, I tried playing it, and it's like a point and click sort of mystery game. And the actual like arrow symbol or whatever on the screen was really glitched out, so I didn't get very far into it, and it's just dull, it's boring, and reviews online agree, but I figured it's complete and everything too with the books. I figured to get it complete, 4 discs, it was $4, so whatever, just to, you know, scratch one off I've always wanted as a kid, and I can say I play it and it kind of sucks. Next game I got for $15 at clearance at Target. That's Vanquish on the PS3. I'm not sure if this is available on 360. I can't remember offhand. It's a Sega game, and it's surprisingly good. I wasn't expecting too much coming into it. I got pretty high scores. I mean, well, like in the 80s, kind of the you know, 8 out of 10 range or whatever from most reviewers. And it's just it's a really cool take on the third-person shooter game. I think it's really fast-paced, and just, you know, Sega games are over the top and kind of ridiculous. And it sort of just goes with it. It doesn't try to be hardcore, you know, Gears of War, gritty, gray kind of thing. It's really sort of bright and like chromy and sort of like a weird sci-fi, kind of like anime sci-fi look to it. It's fun. It's just kind of mindless arcade style, just action. I haven't gotten that far into it, but it's definitely something I want to, you know, try to get into more if I can. So for $15, that was pretty good. So check out your local Targets if you can. They have fantastic clearance most of the time. Grab it while you can. And the last one I just picked up today sure most of you picked this up today. Well, most of you who have a 3DS, this is the reason you wanted a 3DS in the first place. And finally it came out, right? Like 2 months after the actual system. Crazy. 3 months after the actual system. Unbelievable. Zelda 3DS, the remake, remaster of Ocarina of Time, a classic game on the N64. Awesome game. I actually started playing that last week and had to purposely tell myself I need to stop or else I'm going to ruin this experience, you know. So I purposely, you know, boycotted playing that game for the week, and I've played it a ton today. I've played it a couple hours. I just got the second spiritual stone from the Dodongo Cavern, I think, the big dinosaur. So I just got that, and yeah, that's where I'm at right now. So I'm not that far in, but definitely looking forward to it. You know, I've never played that far into it because I only got an N64 like a couple of years ago for the first time. So never beat the game, never got that far into it. So I'm definitely looking forward to this experience. Graphics look pretty good in 2D or 3D. The remaster looks pretty nice. I don't mind too much that it's the same music because I like the music from the original game. But you know, some people might complain that it's not new sound effects and new music or whatever, but I sort of like that touch. It sort of gives it the that sense, you know, linking it, no pun intended, linking it to the old N64 game, you know, beside it being a pretty much direct remake. It has that old music, so you still get that sort of sense of the N64 game. Yeah, I really like the touchscreen controls for items and maps. I mean, that's just an obvious way to utilize the second screen, and it works pretty well for the most part. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the experience so far. Very cool. Definitely recommend it to all of you. I know there's been issues a lot of people have with registering this game because you're supposed to get a free soundtrack of this, you know, given to you through Club Nintendo if you're one of the first ones to register the game. Mine went through perfectly fine. I'm not sure what the issue is, if their servers are overloaded or if it's a problem on the person's end when they type it in. But all I did was I registered it, took the survey. At the end, it just sort of prompted the message saying, you know, where would you like your soundtrack delivered, blah, blah, blah. So I'm assuming that's coming in a couple months. I think it said they start shipping like that first full week of July, like the 4th or the 5th, something like that. So that'll be cool to get that. Yeah, just a nice little perk, something free from Nintendo, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, I definitely recommend it to all you 3DS owners out there. This is the reason you wanted one, so hop on it. Very cool. But that's it. Yep, that's it for the month, I guess. I don't know, I'll plug the rest of my stuff. You know, follow me on Twitter if you want, NateGrit321. I'll link it down in the description box. I'll go ahead and put, you know, the typical gamertag 360, my PlayStation name, 3DS friend code, but you gotta send me yours as well because, you know, you gotta exchange them, which is kind of bogus. But yeah, so maybe I'll see you guys in a month or so, and hopefully I'm in a new place and I can maybe. Oh, I almost forgot. 600 subs. I just hit 600 subs not too long ago. Very, very cool, you know, sort of another milestone along the way. So thanks, guys. 600 subs, you know, sticking by even though my videos aren't as, you know, there's not a lot of variety as a lot of people out there. As I don't do it as often as a lot of people do, but thanks for sticking by. Thanks for the comments, you know, the group of you that usually comments on my videos. Thank you. But yeah, very cool. I'm going to keep doing this as long as people keep watching, I guess. But yeah, that's it for now, guys. So I'll see you in a month, hopefully from a new place with a new computer. And maybe I can do a new game room tour or something like that when I get set up. So, yeah, take it easy, guys.